A warm afternoon, children. Eagerly waiting? I don't know whether you are eagerly waiting, but I am really eagerly waiting because I am missing very much the vocabulary session. Every day we do our vocabulary in our class, is it not? As we begin our class, you come, you explain your vocabulary daily. Since you are not here, that activity, our video session will start with a learning vocabulary, and that we will do it in a very creative manner. And please remember, whenever you sit for session, you have your book with you, you also have your note and the stationery. Yeah. Now let's start with the vocabulary. Look at the screen. Just describe the screen. I would simply say beautiful, but then little more than a beautiful, okay? Use a word which conveys little more than a beautiful. Anybody got it? See here, I have word magnificent. Magnificent is a word, explains something, how beautiful a picture looks. Any other vocabulary you are ready with, children? I am ready. Aesthetic. Aesthetic is a really beautiful word, and you better learn the meaning, and then you will also use it. You got to use it in your sentences. Next one, splendid. You can also suggest simultaneously. You can also just have them in your note. I hope you remember, you have the vocabulary page. You can add some of these things, and then you can also write the sentence. Gorgeous. How do we read this word? Gorgeous. The first word, magnificent, splendid, aesthetic, gorgeous, ravishing. See, I like these words very much. Okay. Let's go to the slide. Last week we have learned the poem. The notes for that poem will be given through FlipLearn app. And that is the reason I thought I could start with a chapter 3, part 1, his first flight. I'm not very sure if section A has already learned his first flight. If you have already learned, no issues, since we are going one after the other in a sequencing order. We got to learn this lesson, his first flight, chapter 3, part 1. We have a summary, and I have written it on your screen. Why I have written this summary? Here, I want you to learn how to write a summary, either of a poem or of a lesson. Okay? So, who is the writer of this lesson, his first flight? Liam Flaherty. Okay, now let's go back to the first slide. What do you see here, ma? On the corner of the slide? Yeah, you see me also. But then next to my picture, you have few birds flying. Okay, so it is very important you first understand the title of your lesson. Who is this his? His stands for a seagull, a bird. And many stories are there in English used to tell people or used to encourage people by giving us these stories, by relating these stories. Usually what they do, a bird is there and it used to soar high, but it has not recognized its capacity, inbuilt capacity, and it is just walking along with the chicks. So that is one story. Here we have a story of a bird who really so scared to the extent even unwilling to try. Can you imagine the bird which natural tendency to fly in the sky is unwilling to fly in the sky just because of the fear. And this particular bird has his brothers and his sisters. They are younger brothers, younger sister. And parents are teaching the bird to fly, trying to explain the skills, how to fly, keeping ready its wings. And his younger brothers, his younger sisters are willing to learn, take risk. They got a sort of belief, self-belief and confidence in them. And that is pushing them to act upon the advice the parents are giving them. Now this poor seagull, about whose flight we are learning today, is so scared, unwilling to fly, is simply because it doubted its flying capacity. It doubted the inbuilt capacity of its wings to fly. See how dangerous it is? But then what can be done? The parents are sad. Brothers and sisters are very happy. They are trying on their own and they are experimenting everything, exploring the ocean, the sea. And they are also enabled to get their food. The fish, you know what the seagull does? Seagull flies in the vast sea, flowing water, and it is able to capture a fish that is moving under the waters, and it will wait for the fish to come onto the surface, and then immediately it bounces on it and then takes the fish. Now what happened to this seagull? This particular seagull is not even giving heed, paying heed to his parents. And parents are really upset. And they taunt, they scold, they discourage him for his not trying attitude. Okay, the parents say, at least you try. If you really fall, we will help you. But then if you don't try to fly, don't at all try, then you will not know how to fly. So one day, this little bird coming further and trying to look the sea again, and brothers and sisters are flying, and it gets so frightened of the vast sea, again goes back to its nest. And because of this, since they have no other go, the parents and the entire family plans no one should talk to him. Isolate this particular seagull brother who is unwilling to join them in the flight. So all of them just left and nobody is willing to provide him food. He is unfed and he is hungry. But none of the family members paid attention to this little seagull who is unwilling to fly. So this is one way of the parent, birds and siblings trying to teach a lesson to this unwilling bird seagull. Ultimately, what happens on a fine day, morning, it's very hungry and wanted some food, and then it's making all fuss and trying to attract his family members. But then nobody bothered of this particular seagull. At one point, he notices his mother trying to catch fish, trying to get fish out of water and have for itself. And it feels so hungry and it could not control its hunger and trying to ask mother, please share with me. And mother slowly moves towards this child. As mother moves towards the child, mother also notices the child is very eager to get that fish. And the motive behind, already why they have isolated the seagull. Yeah, seagull should learn to fly. So, mother's heart wanted to help the child and she's coming forward to share the fish. But then all of a sudden, she notices that this seagull is coming forward and then she will stop midway. The mother bird stops midway and seagull forgets the constraint, its difficulty, its fear, and its concentration is only on that particular fish and it just dives into the sea, catches the fish. Then you can imagine the celebration in the family. Whole family joined the seagull who took his first flight, clapped, celebrated, cheered, and mother was the happiest. Of course, you know what happens when child succeeds. It is the mother, the father, and everyone in the family takes pride in your success. So also, when the bird succeeded in flying, parents started celebrating. At the end, the bird realizes it's all in the mind. The fear concept is in the mind, and really it has nothing to do with its wings, and starts learning to trust its wings, starts learning to trust its capacity, inbuilt capacity, and then it even floats on the sea and jumps over, and then it goes on sliding and it joins its siblings. This is the story. Did you like it? Is it beautiful? See, I have given you the summary with the different vocabulary, usage of vocabulary, statements. Okay, so you just take down such a big story but it's put in a little nutshell. So you can have it for yourself. For those who find it difficult, you try to write on your own the summary of the lesson. Okay, not now, but after the session is over. Today we are going to learn a very little portion of your lesson, only the first paragraph, and we will be learning also few more vocabulary. Thank you children. Have a nice day.